Hey everybody, welcome back to the Unsung Podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest that I came across late night scrolling and just a very talented dude with some cool stories. And here he is, Little Ozzy. Welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me, Dave. It's good to be here, brother.
It's been a wild, wild week. Well, as
Man,
everyone knows, we lost one of the icons of heavy metal. I was lucky enough to see him three times. Um, The last show was in 2010 he did here in Calgary, Alberta. And he was still standing then. He played 2.5 hours. I did nine encores.
wow.
And my mind was
Nine
just,
encore.
I was just blown. He did like four encores. And then he just said, fuck it, I'm just going to stay out here. And they played five more songs.
Isn't that great?
He's like, I don't need to walk off and pretend I'm coming back. I'll just stay the hell here.
Right.
So, for anyone who doesn't know or can't see here, Little Ozzy has been doing an Ozzy tribute since how long have you been doing this?
2011, 14 years.
14 years.
It's been a wild ride.
No doubt. Well,
Uh,
the first video I found of you, man, I must have watched it about 10 times. Let's talk about America's Got Talent. What was that like?
That was crazy. And let me preface it with I was in a Kiss tribute band for a few years, called Mini Kiss, 4 years to be exact. They're a midget Kiss tribute band. And it wasn't real, and I didn't know that. So I learned about an hour and a half of Paul Stanley's role, singing, guitar, and never been on a plane before. And they flew me to San Bernardino to play at an Indian casino. And Jeff Beck was playing across the hall, and I was like, wow, I've arrived. So I plugged my guitar in, and the owner says that, wait, we don't play. He was from Long Island, New York, Joey Fatale. He's no longer with us. However, the money was so good, and I was so excited, and I would fly out of my hometown in Colonial Heights, Virginia, out of Richmond, and I would play New Mexico on a Thursday, Vegas on a Friday, LA on a Saturday, and I'd be home Sunday night, and it was incredible. I had makeup on, so I didn't really care because nobody knew who I was, but we just sang to the backing tracks, and that went on 4 years. So I really got fed up with it and the owners, and I was told I could be in a Kiss commercial for Cherry Dr. Pepper, a Super Bowl commercial with the real Kiss. Um, and I wasn't going to get paid anything for it. So I was kind of fed up and left. And I'd already had Little Ozzy right here. So I went back home to Richmond and I created a live band 14 years ago, Little Ozzy. And I pride myself on looking for the best guitarist ever and hit the ground running. And I knew Sharon would see it, and I wanted her to see it. So lo and behold, a couple years later, I get a call from a talent scout from America's Got Talent that tells me we're looking for a little Ozzy to bring on the show to surprise Sharon, and you're the only one in existence. And I'm like, wow. So what do I need to do? We're gonna stage this. I'm like, wow, America's Got Talent is scripted. But it was. So they sent me to Charlotte, North Carolina. I went down there. They staged an audition and they put commercials on prime time. They were like the most dynamic. You can see all this on my website at littleozzybites.com. The pre-commercials, the most dynamic singer you've ever seen, Little Ozzy. And then they put me on and they added all these boos in. Nobody booed me. They told me Howard Stern's going to X you. Howie Mandel will X you. Sharon doesn't know you're coming. And I'm like, this is my shot, right? I couldn't buy publicity like this. So they flew me to St. Louis, the Fox Theater. I don't even know if that's open any longer. And they paid me to come out there and sing to Sharon Osbourne. Of course, I chose Mama, I'm Coming Home. We know Lemmy wrote that. However, Ozzy has the rights to that. So she loved it. Nobody booed me when I was there. They allowed me to come down to the stand and meet her and hug her and kiss on the cheek. And then she said, "We'll see you real soon." And I thought, hmm, I would love that. That's pretty interesting, right? So she just told me I did wonderful and it was great, and I really wooed her. And then a few years later, I got really busy with the tribute band and was gone every weekend and tours all over the East Coast and as far, Midwest Ohio and things like that. And it started slowing down a little bit, and I needed double hip replacements. So then what happened was I had to go to rehearsals and tell my band we're gonna have to take a year off. I got to do 6 months each leg. It's gonna really be a drag. And so what happened is I go to tell them and I get a phone call. This is Ozzy Osbourne. Click, I hung the phone up. Who's that? That was a prank call. I get a lot of prank calls. My phone number's everywhere, right? So the History Channel calls me back a few minutes later, and there they are, Ozzy and Jack, and we were told by Mom to come to Virginia and see you, and he had a bucket list. It was Jamestown, and to meet Little Ozzy. So that was incredible. So I got to actually go to Williamsburg, Virginia, and meet in a diner and have lunch with Ozzy and Jack. They filmed for several hours, and it was an unbelievable thing to meet him and see him. Jack threw it on him; they didn't have any idea, and I was in bad shape when I came in there because my hips were all messed up. And what had happened was he became super friendly to me. He told me so many things. I wish I could get a hold of all the reels because it was just so incredible to talk to him for hours. And wow, you're great. How were you born sounding like me? And how did you do it? And I'm like, you taught me to sing whether you know it or not. And Black Sabbath taught me to play guitar and drums and all those things. So I guess I was trained up in that way, kind of using my throat with that kind of weird kind of sound and the all right and all that kind of stuff. So I just had put a band together, and it was just a tremendous moment for him to tell me, "You do sound like me," to be completely honest, and give me his blessing like that. And he came out back, and my band wasn't permitted in there. At first, it was originally they were going to come to a rehearsal, and Ozzy was going to sing with me, which would have been incredible. But it kept getting pushed back, and then at the last minute, it was "We just want you for lunch," and my band was disgusted. They were angry. We've been anticipating this for months. So it was in November we went to Williamsburg, and I told him just wait outside, wait outside. And so I asked Ozzy's assistant when I got there a couple times, and no, no, we don't have time to meet your band, and he was kind of a jerk. And at the end, I said, Ozzy, can you please come outside? And his guy yelled at him, and he said, F him, and got up with Jack and walked out back and met my entire band. And my guitar player was crying. He passed away a few years ago. And my drummer was like, "You said this was going to happen." And it's been an amazing journey. And, I struggled myself for years with addictions. I didn't really plan on becoming a drug addict in the mix. And through my life, but with the hip replacements and the pain, I had gotten severely addicted to opiates to where I was actually buying them off the street, medicating myself. I was probably doing 100 oxys a week, and I was snorting them. And I had an epiphany right after I think Tom Petty passed away, and God spoke to me in my spirit and told me, "You don't have to be high to die." And I realized that after snorting 12 oxys in 12 hours and 2 o'clock in the morning the next day, I was still coherent and I was awake, but I was very weak. And so I got myself clean through NA and went to self-help groups and things like that. And it didn't really last. I always had reservations. I wasn't really ready, and so it's an incredible journey. I'm writing an autobiography right now because 6 years ago in St. Augustine, Florida, I had a guitarist named Bart Walsh. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He founded the Atomic Punks in LA, which is a tribute to Van Halen. He was with Ralph, the singer for Mike Starr for Steel Panther. They
Mm.
started the Atomic Punks together. And I become very good friends with him. And he was to play one show with me before he died. He played August 31st in Savannah, Georgia. He did a show with me. There's a little video on my social media. We had become very close very fast. And he fell down, drinking, and he had some problems too at his home, and he died. And it was just, I get choked up talking about it because of the gratitude that I have today. I had an appointment with Christ in St. Augustine 6 years ago. September 1 is the last time I used. I'm coming up on 6 years. But it's a crazy thing because, I'm not big into televangelists and profiteers, if you will. I'm a firm believer in the scriptures, and I've done a lot of research on history of the scriptures and things. And what happened was a street preacher put his hands on me and prayed for me. And it was my time. People will say your life passes before your eyes or something, but it was nothing like that. It was like immediately I saw every reason in my spirit why I used, every pain, every heartache, every mother father issue, whatever we like to complain about nowadays. And I knew that he took it and I would never use again. And it's been 6 years, and I was basically homeless on the floor with a best friend at a best friend's house. Totally, I mean, gone, totally evacuated spiritually, my kids, my life. And I remember looking up one morning and thinking, I'm going to die an old, lonely, homeless man. I don't know who this God of my childhood was. I don't know what this phenomenon was with my career and Little Ozzy, but you know what? I don't know. And, and I had that moment, and what happened after that is just unbelievable. He's restored to me 100 times what I've lost, and my success has just gained momentum. And it's an incredible journey. I sing Ozzy Osbourne. I go out here and I do my thing, and I keep Black Sabbath and Ozzy alive. And it was very heart wrenching when I heard the news. I woke up in the hotel. We're in Northern California visiting our grands right now, and I cried for 10 minutes straight. And then there was a fire lit up under my ass to go out here and carry this torch. And then I woke up the next morning and these videos are going viral again. These Little Ozzy meeting Ozzy, and the comments are so beautiful. And there's this connection that these fans feel with me because of Ozzy's blessings. And the Osbournes have helped me tremendously throughout my career. And I'm so grateful that if it weren't for Ozzy, I would not have the job that I have with the Micro Wrestling Federation, who has a show on Discovery Channel called Big Little Brawlers, where I commentate and sing Ozzy Osbourne every night. I don't wrestle. And it's been an incredible journey. I've been doing that 2.5 years. I'm based in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I've just been gaining momentum. And now with his death, it's given me a renewal of the fire to go out here and do this. And it's getting to a point. I've got a management team that I'm building right now, from the East Coast to the West Coast. I have a guy right now in San Diego that's um, mentoring me, and I've kept control for 14 years. Anytime I've ever used an agent, they've screwed me or left me in Phoenix one time, punched my assistant out, and we're left in the middle of nowhere trying to get a plane ticket home. There's some wild ass stories out there, bro. But you know what? It's time to step it up, love on these fans, and that's what I'm all about, bro.
Did you get to did you get to see any of the final show?
I did. I have a best friend. He's a really famous photographer. His name's Mark Weiss, and he was handpicked by Sharon to come shoot it. And also, he was responsible for introducing Zach Wild to Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy back in the day.
Wow.
Another chance meeting. He walks right into a club I'm playing in, acoustic gig. I'm playing bass with my son-in-law, who is Little Ozzy's guitarist. And he walks in because he hears Diary of a Madman and sits down at a table at a little wine bar in St. Augustine, Florida, and walks Mark Weiss 5.5 years ago, and we're like this now. And he's gotten me on the Monsters of Rock cruise. He's helped me tremendously. He's a wonderful friend, and it's just weird because of this family, the Osbournes, and this family tree of musicians and photographers and people that just branch out. And it's amazing to focus on that 14 years ago and and meet everyone that I've ever desired to meet, and my heart's desires are just fulfilled continuously, and it's an unbelievable thing. It really is. It's tremendous.
So when I was
So is that
watching, just going back to the America's Got Talent, when I was watching, I was paying close attention to Sharon's face. And you could see, like, I know the shows are scripted, everything reality TV is scripted, but you could see the look on her face was absolutely genuine. And then she's like, Ozzy's away or something at a dog show. And then you come on, and it just makes me miss him so much more. And then seeing her at Lay Those Flowers on that bench the other day, man, that gutted me. She just looks so broken, and you could just see, the genuine love, which you don't see much in, with the celebrities and that sort of thing. But even when the little clips of him showing up on the View at flowers, surprising her and things like that, you could just see what they had was real. And
I can't even watch them still. I
no,
cry thinking about them. I'm a real sensitive little bitch like that. But I can't. It really hurts me. I really. There's never been a family that could have sent me a cease and desist letter. She could have. They could have done anything, and rather than that, they've supported me and they've elevated me and build me up. And they have, Jack has mentioned me several times. Howard Stern has mentioned me. Sharon Osbourne has mentioned me. Kelly Osbourne has mentioned me. And they're just incredible. And my heart goes out to them. And I hope they never, well, they know that I'm not making a lot of money doing this. But, my whole ideal now is to keep his music alive because he was incredible and his family's incredible. And I absolutely love their family. So yeah, it's up to me to go out here and satisfy a few people's needs that they have while they're hurting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's there's a lot of fake online. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that were, obviously they were playing Mama I'm Coming Home for the first time to get TikTok views or whatever. But when I watched that last performance of him singing Mama I'm Coming Home and then listening to it after with the isolated vocals, oh man, that's like something I've never heard. And I've seen a lot of things live, but
I know
it's
it.
it's real. And then even watching him, I watched a clip with him and Jack on the way to meet you, and he's showing him a clip, I guess, of you on his phone. And then they're arguing about the term midget or dwarf, and he thinks dwarf would piss him off even more.
Yeah, I've worked with them. They don't like being called a dwarf. The funny thing is the irony of public stigmas and political correctness and all that
Yeah.
bullshit. On top through it all, I work with 50 of the most wonderful midgets in the world right now. We have probably 50 little people, and they're not offended by the word.
No, it's other people that are offended on their behalf. It's
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, we call it midget wrestling. We call it we throw the word around. Uh, a lot of them have achondroplasia, and which is a genetic disorder. And my my height came from my grandfather was 5'3", and he was a retired colonel. He fought in Vietnam, World War II. He led his troops to Normandy. He got shot. He went back and he fought in Vietnam, and he died at 100 7 years ago. And I got to see him retire when I was 8 or 9 years old in Fort Lee, Virginia. Now his father was 6'7", but my grandfather had scarlet fever when he was 12 years old,
hmm.
and he stopped growing. And the doctors told him, if you marry a short woman, your kids are probably be short. So my grandmother was 4'11", my dad was 4'10", my mother was 4'9", and the mother of my children was 5'6" or 7". So all of my children are taller than me. I made about 4'8 3/4" right now. Yeah.
Oh wow. I saw a clip. You mentioned the Monsters of Rock cruise. I saw you performing with Quiet Riot. How freaking cool was that?
Man, that was unbelievable. That was actually Monsters on the Mountain in Gatlinburg, about 6 miles from my house. And what happened with that was I've interviewed, I had a podcast during COVID, Little Ozzy podcast. I'd met Rudy Sarzo in the 90s. He knew who I was. Then when I got Little Ozzy going, I reached out on Christmas one time, and he did a podcast with me on Christmas Day, man, and it was so sweet. So Alex Grossi, their guitarist, is an incredible booking agent as well as guitarist. So I've been friends with him for quite some time, and Mark Weiss was the ticket, though, getting in there because Mark is friends with Larry and the owner of Monsters of Rock, Monsters on the Mountain in Gatlinburg. So what happened was I'd been after him. Oh, let me play, and it's so hard to get this stigmatism off as with the mini kiss thing because everybody thinks it's a party trick or like Ozzy said, a novelty act when it's serious fans. I try to replicate the albums with my musicians, and if they can't do it and can't hang, then they're not in the band. So what happened was Alex said, you talk to Larry and see if you can come up and do a number with us, and I'm like, okay, so. I showed up to do the photo shoot with Mark Weiss and Vixen. We got to do a photo shoot together, and so I went up backstage and with my passes, and there they are. And Jizzy Pearl agreed. Yeah, you can take my mic, brother. Go up there, kill them. So yeah, it was actually I didn't get to perform the entire song. I just got to go out there and pump the audience up. But everybody loved me so much that Larry invited me and my guitarist on the Monsters of Rock cruise. So we got to go to Miami and play the Magic City Casino pre-party with Sebastian Bach's band, and along with Tyson Leslie. He's a piano player. He plays for Vixen. He's an incredible musician. He lives in Nashville, Tennessee, about 3 hours from me. And so we get there and we get on our little bus that we think we're getting ready in, and in walks Sebastian Bach and Ted Poley from Danger Danger, and we're on that bus, and everybody's so great. And long story short, we get on the cruise and we get to perform on the boat, and it was just an amazing time. And oh Larry, please let us back on this year. Zach
Mm.
Wild's playing, but I really want to go the joint on 2026. But and that would depend on a lot of things. But that's how I got to where that was. The stars just like line up, and God just goes, and you just follow it.
Yeah, you mentioned Zach Waldy, and it just reminded me he was another artist. Whenever Black Label Society would come to Calgary here, he'd
Mhm.
contact me and say, "Hey, there was one show. He's like, why don't you bring out 15 to 20 veterans and let them help take down my set?" And
Oh,
they were all roadies for a day. They got the VIP treatment. Um, he did a draw because he couldn't give away 25 guitars, but he threw all their names in a hat at the end of the night and gave them away one of his used guitars from the set.
wow.
So it just there's so much cool shit out there that you don't hear about, and that's what makes it real. Like they're not going around with the camera crew or like, hey, come film this and make sure I get my pat on the back, right? And that's
Exactly.
that's what I when I watch Ozzy clips and that's what I feel he was like. Even though I never met him, you could just see genuine. And then him having a marching band playing his hearse around his hometown, like a upbeat part. Everyone's like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Man, that's so freaking cool!" Like to me,
It is.
yeah,
And that's what he wanted. He doesn't want everybody to sit around and cry and feel sad. He wants everybody to celebrate his life. And we're all gonna face that day, man. And nobody gets out alive, right?
no,
And it's just an incredible thing to be a part of it. Yeah.
it was interesting to watch, but hard to watch. When he was doing that last show, you could see he just wanted to stand up so bad one last time. That was probably one of the hardest things I watched too. I think one of the last times he was playing. But you can see, well, he was strapped in for safety, but you could just see he just wanted to stand up that one last time, and that
No, that
ripped
was
me
so
apart.
heartbreaking, man.
Oh,
He wanted to get up out of that chair and show his ass. That
now if
was
you had have had the chance to sing one song with him live, what would you pick? What would it be?
I feel unhappy. I feel so sad. Probably that one. Changes. I think I would love to do changes with him.
What did you think of that? I think his name is Youngblood. That version he did of that. I'd never heard of the guy. I've seen him around, seen his name around, but man, I was impressed by that too.
Man, what a cool guy. Huh?
And just
What a
watching the
wild guy.
backstage interactions with him and Ozzy too, it was almost like a torch kind of thing people are saying, but
It was neat. It was
yeah.
so good. And he was so gracious and made the cross for Ozzy and Wow, it was incredible. I still get goosebumps watching that. Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope they put out like a, I don't know, DVDs or so thing, or like a, like a Netflix show, just the whole behind the scenes of that. That would be
Well, they're
something.
talking about that,
But
Jack.
I hope they keep it though as like what he did with all the proceeds from that show. You know what I mean? Just not like
Um,
direct it that way too, and just keep it real. That's what, but that'll be hard to do too.
yeah, but isn't that amazing? All the money he
Hmm.
gave. Wow.
What was it, like $200 million?
Man, he went out like a rock star.
Yeah, it was a one of a kind exit for sure. Like you could tell, it was almost like watching that show to me was like watching a happy funeral, if that makes any sense. It's like
Yeah.
he knew every time he sang each verse that was going to be the last,
Yeah.
and you could just see it on his face. And the thing I love the most too is I've been watching a lot of, from the Hall of Fame induction, other people are playing his songs, and he's
Mhm.
singing along word for word. Even though when I saw him live, he had this thing in the front with the words on the.
Yeah.
And someone behind me, like some young millennial, was like, "Why is he doing karaoke? I didn't pay to see karaoke." I'm like, everyone's like, "Shut the hell up!" This guy's like,
Get
he was
out.
almost 70 then.
Yeah, right.
He played 2.5 hours. Um, yeah, that's and I was in our arena here. It's a hockey rink, but I was in what's called the sweet spot section in the second row, like on the other side of the stadium. But it's called the
Hmm.
sweet spot. That's where all the audio guys, and the sound just flows right through your whole body, and
Oh man,
it was
that's
so good.
incredible.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him when I was a young punk man at Richmond Coliseum with Zach Wild, Randy Castillo, and Terry, yeah, Geezer Butler on bass. No Rest for Wicked tour.
Mm.
Yeah, and that was like, wow, man. Wow, I was just cutting my teeth on music, but it blew me away, man. It really did. Yep.
Music is it's pretty powerful. Every Sunday on TikTok, I host the mental health open mic live where people
Nice.
can just come up and sing, share a story, just talk about how they're doing. And we've done 19 of them so far. It's every Sunday from 2 o'clock your time till 4.
I love that.
And I'd love to have you come out, man. And if you want to put on a track and do a couple songs, or just it'd be cool just to have you come in there
Oh,
and
that would be fun. Yeah.
it's
Yep. Is it every Sunday at 2?
yeah, every Sunday at 2 o'clock your
Oh,
time.
good. I'll be gone this Sunday. And then Wednesday, well, we're going to go over to the coast and see Fort Bragg and the beach with the kids. And then we're going to be headed back home on Wednesday to Tennessee. So, I'll probably be traveling because I'm taking my time to getting back. Yeah. It's fun to see the country.
So what's the strangest show you ever performed? Like this comedy, like I don't know, comedy of errors, whatever went wrong. What's the one that sticks out in your head?
There are so many. I mean, there are so many crazy things. When I was back, jacked up on stuff, and God bless Doobie Lancelotti, man, my drummer. Back then, I just hung up with him a few hours ago, and he brings up things all the time, man. That I'm like, I don't even remember a lot of it because I was on another planet, but. I do recall playing at a place in Texas called Fitzgerald's. Whoops, you can edit that out, but and we got there. We got the deposit. We had a show at the House of Rock in I forget Amarillo, maybe I'm not sure. It was down further south, really closer to the Mexican border. So, anyways, we got to the next show, and it was a Saturday night. I had a road crew with me from Richmond, a big dude, man, Scott Wood, and my drummer Doobie is a monster. And the promoter got so shit faced, and he had my shirt on, Little Ozzy shirt, and he said, I've only made $269. I'm gonna have to mail you the rest." And dude, you don't tell me that when we're on tour out there and we're trying to make money, and I got guys to pay and rooms to get and food. And dude, I lost it in front of this guy. I ripped his shirt off of him. He was kind of a big dude. I yanked it off. I was dragging him all over the floor, and then this big Spanish guy comes out from behind the bar, and then my drummer comes out, and then two more big Spanish guys come out, and the only one with sense, Todd Mobley, our sound guy says, Lynn, that's my real name. We're going to end up in a ditch on the side of the road tonight, dead. Let's take our $269 and leave. And so we all shut up, got our stuff, and we left. So that was crazy because that was probably one of those moments when we passed through the gates of heaven. The good Lord's going to go, you should have been dead that night.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was as far as Erie, yeah, I've had some real creepers come. I had a guy bring me a homemade coffin about this big one time with a dead bat in it.
Oh,
And I still have that in storage. But I remember looking at him in his face going, okay, thank you for the gift. Now get away. It's still in storage somewhere. Yeah, it was dried up bat in a coffin. He prepared it, took the time to build a little coffin and everything for me.
wow.
Yeah.
So you've hit 6 years. You've been sober 6 years
September 1 will be six. Yeah.
on 3 year in 3 weeks on my 50th birthday. I'll be sober 3 years myself.
Yes.
I
That's
used
what
to,
rock and roll is all about, brother.
well, yeah, I drank 6 nights a week to escape PTSD. I was involved I had three guys try to take my life with knives. And
Oh,
so that messed
where
me up
at?
for a lot of years. But yeah, 3 years ago on my 47th birthday, it would have been, I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm done. And
I know. That's crazy.
now I'm
Yeah,
on
I
a
get it.
Saturday night when I used to be out like now I'm sitting at home on a Saturday night with my girlfriend and my daughter, and we're having like a movie night, and I don't
Isn't
wake
that
up with a
wonderful?
hangover, right? It's
I used to say it feels good to wake up instead of coming to.
yes,
It really does, man. It's a blessing every day to be alive. You know, we're not promised tomorrow. Yesterday is behind us, and all we have is today. You know, and that's we have to. I have to wake up before my feet hit the floor. Thank the Lord that I woke up, and I'm not gonna get high today, and I'm gonna go out here and be the best I can be for Him, and I'm gonna love everyone, and
beautiful.
that's what my day's about. You know, I don't
I
look at when you called me. You said something about your numbers on. I don't care if you had two likes. I know that I was supposed to do this with you, and you're getting exactly what you would get if the History Channel called me back, because that's one thing I'm not is it's fake. You know, I can't be.
you
You got
know
to be
it's
transparent.
all about impact, right? Like
Yeah,
I did my very first podcast show I did before I started my own was with a nurse in Chicago, and just a regular lady that just talked to regular people. And she had seen my story was on it was on Fox News, Yahoo, CNN, all this stuff about my incident and losing all this weight and whatever.
wow,
She's like, listen, I only get 10 viewers a week. Are you sure you want to do this little show? And I said to her, I'm like, listen, if one of those listeners is me in 2010 on a balcony, 14 floors up, wondering if I leaped off, would anyone even give a shit, and goes to get
man,
help, it's freaking worth it.
it's
Because
all worth it,
you
brother.
never know who's listening, right?
You never do. And I used to be really loose with my lips, man. I was a big mouth, you know. I didn't have patience, you know, if somebody would call me or start telling me, you know, go shoot yourself then. Leave me alone, you know, until the gratitude that I have now. And yeah, words are powerful, you know. Not preaching, but you know, the Bible even says, who can tame the tongue? You know, about a huge ship is steered by a tiny rudder. The power of the tongue has life and death in it. And we have to choose our words wisely, you know, because someone reaches out to me and they're hurting, and you know, it's my job as a human to build them up and help them, not to curse at them or hang up on them. And that's what I'm all about, brother. That's
You know
right.
what? I don't preach to people either, but I saw some pretty strange things that night. I almost died. Um, but maybe 5 months ago, at my girlfriend's church, they were having just an open mic music night where people were performing, and
Nice.
I've been playing guitar since I was 10, and
Well,
only started writing and posting songs on TikTok 3 months ago. But
get out.
so she's like, "You should get up and play a song at my church concert." I'm like, "No," because I'd never played or performed sober because I used to have to be drunk to do karaoke.
Yeah.
So I go with my guitar, and I sang "Hard Fought Hallelujah" by Brandon Lake, and
Oh yeah, I know that one.
that was such a powerful song. And it was the first time I had ever played sober in front of people, and the reaction, and it was like maybe 200 people there. But I put it on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't care about trolls anymore. I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
25,000 views and not one troll.
How
It's
about that?
it blew my mind. But it's like because I put up my statement at the beginning. This is my first time playing sober. I'm sober 2.5 years, whatever. But it just I
Yeah.
don't know. It just hit people, and it's
It does
sometimes
because
these
it's
guys can
genuine.
surprise you.
Look, the public in general, people can sniff out our BS in a heartbeat. Okay. When it's genuine, it's good. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It is. It's amazing. And that's where I need to be more vocal sometimes about my faith because I miss a lot of opportunities and I'm chicken. Oh, I might mess something up or offend somebody or well, I like this person or that person. When the reality is if you just step forth and do it, man, it's like, wow, that wasn't hard. That must have been some kind of enemy whispering in my ear to shut me up and silence me because I've got something good to say, and that's where it builds you up, and yeah, man, I'd love to hear your song. I can't wait to go hear it.
You know what? Speaking of what, something funny I just thought about talking about faith and your all this stuff. When I went on your YouTube just before the show started, you had 666 subscribers. And I'm like, okay, I gotta change that. So now you're 667. So I got rid of that 666.
It's funny, isn't it? That's good though, I guess, huh? Still a
Yeah.
number, right?
But all these people, I read all these news reports and everything online, Ozzy, Prince of Darkness, blah, blah, blah. But man, there was so much light in that guy.
Man, I'm
And
gonna tell you something, brother. Have you ever watched the guy that gave him the Bible and all that?
no, I haven't seen that.
Oh man, see this guy's really good, but this guy is a minister to the rock stars, and he goes and he meets them and he brings them Bibles with their names printed in them and stuff. And yeah, he's got some TikToks up now, but he saw Jack again. He's got pictures with the Osbournes on the set and everything. He's totally legit. But he's evangelical with it, He loves Ozzy, he loves rock music, and he doesn't want to see anybody, miss out, so he printed Ozzy a Bible with his name on it and gave it to him. And he saw Jack like a year ago, and Jack told him he will not go anywhere without that Bible. It's
Wow.
beside his bed. And one day we left the house and nope, I need my Bible. I need my Bible. And it's just amazing because, we all got jobs to do, whether you're making cigarettes or working in a factory, we have jobs that we have to do, and that was his job. But, I'm looking forward because I believe he's there and I'm excited. I believe he was a lot more in depth. There was a lot more depth to him than people see.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a wonderful person. Yeah.
Well, I certainly feel blessed to have seen him 3 times live. That one from the fourth row, I still have a pic I caught from one of his other guitarists because
Where was that at? Do you remember?
I was in Calgary, Alberta. This is in just
What
about an hour
tour?
away from where I am. And I don't remember who opened up for him because it's out of my mind. Once he started playing, it was just my jaw was on the floor.
Dude, I went. You just reminded me of something. I went to the Richmond Coliseum one time to see it was Danger, Danger, Slaughter, and Kiss. Maybe no, it was White Lion, Slaughter, and Kiss. And I wanted to see Slaughter so bad. They had just produced Firehouse. White Heat would turn to their name to Firehouse. We're friends with those guys. They hit the big time. And I got drunk so bad that I don't even remember the whole concert. I remember getting up to the front of the stage and pointing at Gene Simmons and him looking at me like, what is your problem, dude? Yeah, I was, yeah, we've all been there, bro. It's funny to look back and laugh at that crap.
It is. I mean, every day, usually on the weekends, I'll go back and I'll look through my Facebook memories because there's shit that comes up. It's all set that only I can see it. But there's nights that I've had that I don't remember until that stuff comes up. Like I won a VIP box suite for Motley Crue, Buck Cherry,
Oh,
Skid,
nice.
I can't. There was like 8 hard rock bands on this set, and I had never seen any of them live except for Motley Crue. And I was such, I'll call it alcoholic. It was so sad, but I was in this box. We opened up the fridge, and the guy's like, "Yeah, it's all you can drink,
Yeah.
and we'll just keep refilling it when it's empty." I'm like, "What? You don't tell that to an Irish Newfoundlander who's got a drinking problem." So by the time the first 2 bands were done, I was 3 sheets to the wind. I didn't know if I was at a Justin Bieber concert or Lady Gaga. By the time Motley Crue came out, I was just like, "Oh, there's," and then pictures of that come up. I'm like, "Holy, I don't even recognize that guy."
No, isn't that amazing how that is?
Yeah, and it's so
It's an
many
eye
memories
opener.
that I don't have that thank
Yeah.
God for the social media flashbacks because that's putting my life together. But
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it's true. I go back and look at my memories and things that I just typed and attitudes and things I said. That's not even the same person.
no.
I don't know who that guy was, but I'm glad he's dead.
But you know what? One of my military friends said to me, um, just because the past taps you on the shoulder, it doesn't mean you have to turn around and look.
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, that's stuck with me ever since, and I even include it in a. I wrote 2 children's books. It's in. That quote comes from the wise old owl to the little fox because that's something that'll stick with me for the rest of my life.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So true.
So you got a show coming up? I saw on your Facebook, August
Man,
30th.
I got a lot of shows coming up, brother, but I can't. I'm really not at liberty yet because we're in negotiations and deposits and like I said, I got this silent partner right now that he doesn't even want to be addressed right now, which is really cool. I love that. Um, so right now I'm in scheduling with my
Hmm.
job. My bread and butter is the Micro Wrestling Federation. But I haven't been touring in quite some time, a few years. I do hit and miss shows that are worth it. And so I'm getting geared up to go out here and tear it up, man. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a live feed probably on Facebook, uh maybe like in a week and kind of do a Q&A with people because I got a lot of people requesting Little Ozzy. And so right now I'm taking my time for the first time in my life instead of rushing everything and freaking out on the phone all day. And I'm letting this PR team, uh, the management, and the touring guy just do their things, and we're gonna see what happens, you know.
I love
But
it.
yeah, Ocean City, Maryland. I'm coming over to the East Coast, back home, which I'm really excited about. Labor Day weekend, Saturday will be August 30th at a place called Saltwater 75. I'm really excited about that. We have Halloween, October 31st. I've already booked it. It was too good to not book. There's a country music band that's rocking. They're rebellious and they're awesome. They're called the Davison Brothers Band. You can look them up. They're pretty big. It's a strange world how things clash, but there was a singer from my hometown that went viral last year named Oliver Anthony. He has a long red beard, and he did a song called Richmond, North of Richmond.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, I was involved with one of his first gigs ever in my hometown 11 years ago. And he remembered me and he called me and asked me to be a part of the Rural Revival Project that happened this spring, where we go to North Carolina. We do big, huge show, street festival for the flood victims, and he donates the money to the flood victims. So I got to go to Inez, Kentucky, and do that as well, and tell my story as Little Ozzy. And so I totally forget where I was going with this, but I don't know. But anyways, in case you needed to know that, no, what happened was where was I at before this? You can edit all this, right?
I sure can. Yep.
But you just let it fly.
Usually I let them
Um,
fly, but it's cool.
oh yeah, where I was going with this was yes, the Halloween show October 31st is in Ohio, Powell, Pennsylvania, and you'll be able to see on my social media. There'll be plenty of posts and things, but it's a really nice place there. It's called the Broken Spoke Cafe. They have a huge outdoor and it's a huge venue. It sounds like you would think it was a little sports bar or something, but this band that I met through doing these shows with Oliver Anthony wanted me for Halloween, so we went on and set that in concrete, and it looks like I'll have some filler dates in my hometowns in Virginia and the Carolinas, and we're going to work our way probably down to Florida. and some West Coast things coming up. And the really cool thing I have going on is, do you remember Cold Sweat from the 80s?
Yes.
Like Mark Fry. I have their guitarist as my B guy, Eric Gammons. He's a huge Randy Rhoads freak. And I have Ted Pauly, Danger Danger's bass player, on standby for my bassist. So there's nothing's going to stop this crazy train. My son-in-law just toured Australia. He's 22 with his Nirvana tribute. Thailand and Malaysia. He was gone a whole month. Incredible. So he is so busy, and he actually married my daughter. So I like for him to go out there and make that money because he's taking care of my little baby. But other than that, when he can't make shows, I'll have these incredible LA guys and 80s hair metal dudes filling in. So I'm
I love it.
really excited about
Love it. Well,
it.
I've got one more question for you. It's how I end all my shows.
Mhm.
Um, just a little bit of silliness at the some end of some serious talks, but if there was a 100-meter pigeon carrying contest, live pigeons, how many pigeons do you think you could hold in your arms and still have in your arms at the end of the race?
Wow, probably. Well, if I bit the head off of them all, I could probably just hold them all. So that's probably what I would do to win. That's how serious I am about winning. Yeah, I'd probably bite the head off of about five or six of them, spit them out, and then carry as many as I can. So I'd probably win. Probably 20. 20 is
20.
a good
Oh,
number.
you're the new leader of all my episodes. 20. I had a lady say she was gonna little 4 foot, she was 4'3". She said she was gonna put double-sided duct tape all over her chest and just strap the pigeons on and just start running. So
Man, that's a good idea. I don't know.
yeah.
She might have me, brother. No animals harmed, right?
No animals are harmed in any of my episodes. If anyone from PETA's out there watching, please don't cancel me.
They
Um,
won't. They don't exist, I don't believe.
no, I don't think so. I'm not too
You
worried
know
about it.
why? Can I tell you one more quick story?
Sure.
I went out when I started Little Ozzy, and I wanted the media blitz. So I went and bought a beautiful white parakeet, put him in a cage. He's so beautiful. And I went out and I bought a decoy that looked just like him in a blood capsule. And I had an executioner lady come out with a robe on. You couldn't even see her face, and a black thing. And she'd take the thing off. And I'd reach in there, and that other bird would be flying. I'd grab the decoy and bite his head off and throw him back in. And she'd cover it up. So we had several people, because I had a big show. I had my first show in Richmond, Virginia. We had several people call PETA and tell them this Little Ozzy guy's killing live animals on
Oh
stage.
boy.
And I was hoping and praying the cops would show up, everybody would, and I could show them it was just an act and make maybe some national news. And not one person called back or even showed up. So yeah, I don't think they exist, man.
Well, good. Then that makes me feel better. My pigeon question is safe.
Yeah. But I wouldn't kill no animals. I love it.
No, no, never. So everyone watching, check the links in the description. We'll put a link to the Little Ozzy's website, Facebook, TikTok. Follow them wherever you follow people.
Yes.
Check out the clips. I might edit in one clip of you playing something into the end of the episode here, just to.
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
not worried
cool.
about copyrights. I'll just say, oh, you can't make money off this, but I'll make money off this anyway. So I don't care
Yep.
about that.
Who cares, right?
But yeah, thanks for coming on with me, man. This was awesome, and love hearing
Dave
those
Murphy,
stories.
thank you so much for having me, brother. I really appreciate you. And I just want to tell everybody, man, I love you guys. I can't wait to meet so many new people, and we're gonna celebrate Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath rock and roll.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that cool stuff my daughter tells me to say. Yeah, check out the links, give Little Ozzy a follow, and we're gonna have you back on when you get that book out. If
Sounds great, Dave.
if you're down for that.
I am.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care.